I have something very alarming to talk about today. At current practices, we have only about 60 years of topsoil left. 60 years. That's within many of your lifetimes. But here's the good news, and it starts in our own backyards. It's called regenerative organic gardening, and it's not just about growing food. It's about healing our planet, one garden at a time. Hi, I'm Carol at Almost 2 Acres. Today I define regenerative organic gardening, talking about its principles and why it's so very important in our world right now.
This is part one of a two-part series. Today we're covering the what and the why. In part two, I'll show you exactly how to practice regenerative gardening in your own backyard with simple, practical techniques. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Let's go. To understand regenerative organic gardening, we need to go back to my college days in the early 1980s and meet the man who coined the term, Robert Rodale. J.I. Rodale pioneered the organic farming movement in America in the 60s and 70s. His son Robert looked at organic agriculture and said, "This is good, but we can do better." He then coined the term regenerative organic to distinguish a kind of farming that goes beyond sustainable. Regenerative organic agriculture not only maintains resources, but improves them. And that shift in thinking, from maintaining to improving, is the key to understanding what makes regenerative gardening so powerful. Robert understood that we couldn't just sustain the status quo. We needed to actively heal the damage that had already been done to our soils and ecosystems. And that philosophy is what drives regenerative organic gardening today. Let's clear up any confusion. What's the difference between organic, sustainable, and regenerative gardening? First, organic gardening. Organic bans synthetic inputs, GMOs, antibiotics, and growth hormones. Organic farmers often use centuries-old techniques like composting, crop rotations, intercropping, and managed grazing on pasture. It's primarily about what you don't use. No synthetic pesticides, fertilizers, or GMOs. Next, sustainable gardening. This is about maintaining what we have. It's gardening in a way that can continue indefinitely without depleting resources. Think of it as treading water. You're not sinking, but you're not necessarily making progress either. Finally, regenerative organic gardening. Regenerative organic builds on the best practices of organic farming and then raises the bar, prioritizing building soil health as a way to fight climate change. It's a holistic system that sees the well-being of Earth, humans, and animals as interconnected. Regenerative agriculture is the process of restoring degraded soils using practices based on ecological principles. You're not just avoiding harm, you're actively healing and improving your land. Think of it this way: organic equals don't make it worse. Sustainable equals keep it the same. Regenerative equals make it better. And that's a huge difference. Now let's talk about the 5 core principles that define regenerative organic gardening. Regenerative agriculture incorporates 6 key components, with the first being context, which is unique to each person, and 5 principles that are employed depending on your situation. Principle 1, minimize soil disturbance. This means no-till or low-till gardening. When you till the soil, the beneficial microbiome that thrives in the dark beneath the earth gets exposed to air and sunlight where it will likely die or weaken, and carbon releases from the soil into the air. Your soil is a living ecosystem with billions of organisms. Every time you turn it over with a tiller or shovel, you're disrupting entire underground cities of beneficial bacteria, fungi, and microorganisms. Regenerative gardening says, leave them alone and let them do their work. Principle 2, keep soil covered. Covering the soil prevents erosion, keeps weeds from gaining a foothold, and limits water loss through evaporation while keeping the soil from drying out so life continues to thrive beneath the surface. In nature, you never see bare soil. There's always leaf litter, living plants, or organic debris covering the ground. That's what protects the soil ecosystem, and we need to mimic that in our gardens. Principle 3, maintain living roots year-round. When plants photosynthesize, they pump carbon-based exudates into the soil to feed microbes throughout the growing season. The more living roots there are, the more this can occur. Living roots are feeding your soil constantly. They're pumping sugars down to feed beneficial fungi and bacteria, which in turn help your plants access nutrients. It's a beautiful partnership, but it only works when there are living roots in the ground. Principle 4, increase plant diversity. Biodiversity is fundamental to agricultural production and food security, as well as a valuable ingredient of environmental conservation. Monocultures, growing just one crop, are vulnerable to pests, diseases, and nutrient depletion. Diversity creates resilience. Different plants attract different beneficial insects, access different nutrients, and support different soil microbes. Principle 5, integrate animals where possible. This can mean chickens, bees, or even just encouraging beneficial insects and wildlife. Animals complete nutrient cycles, provide natural fertilization, and help control pests. They're a crucial part of creating a closed-loop system. Now, if you've been researching sustainable gardening, you've probably also heard about permaculture. So how does that fit in? Regenerative agriculture on small farms and gardens is based on permaculture, agroecology, agroforestry, restoration ecology, keyline design, and holistic management. Permaculture is the conscious design and maintenance of an agriculturally productive ecosystem. It was pioneered by Australian biologist Bill Mollison in the 1970s as a design philosophy for creating permanent agricultural systems. Here's how they relate. Both systems take a holistic approach to land management and avoid synthetic chemicals, emphasize soil health, and draw inspiration from natural ecosystems, which allows for plants to thrive in otherwise harsh conditions. The key difference? Permaculture focuses on design, how you arrange elements in your landscape to work together efficiently. Regenerative organic gardening focuses on practices, the techniques you use to restore soil health and ecosystem function. But they work beautifully together. Think of permaculture as your master plan or blueprint, and regenerative practices as the construction methods you use to build that vision. When you combine them, you get a garden that's not only productive and beautiful, but also self-sustaining and constantly improving. So what are the real-world benefits of regenerative organic gardening? Soil health and food production. Soil health is intrinsically linked to the total health of our food system. Soil health affects everything from plant health to human well-being and the future of our planet. Regenerative organic farming creates thriving populations of microbes which break down organic matter into topsoil. Remember that 60-year timeline I mentioned? Regenerative practices can actually build topsoil instead of depleting it. Sequestering carbon. Regenerative organic systems are rich in trees, perennials, and living microbe-rich soil, which excel at drawing down carbon dioxide and dripping it through their roots into the soil. Microbes ingest the carbon and store it in the ground. Your garden can literally pull carbon out of the atmosphere and lock it into the soil. That's fighting climate change from your own backyard. Water quality and resilience. Regenerative agriculture provides healthier and more productive soil that is resilient to drought and floods. There is a decreased use of chemical inputs and pollution, cleaner air and water, and enhanced wildlife habitat. Better soil structure means water infiltrates instead of runs off. It means your garden can handle both droughts and heavy rains better. Nutrient density. Evidence suggests that fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains that are grown in rich organic soil contain more nutrients. You're not just growing more food, you're growing better food. That's regenerative organic gardening explained. It's not just a buzzword or a trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about gardening, moving from extraction to restoration, from depletion to regeneration. Where do you come in? You don't need to be a farmer to practice this. These principles work at any scale, even in containers on a balcony. In part 2 of this series, I'm going to show you exactly how to implement regenerative organic gardening in your own space with practical, simple techniques so you can start using it right away. We're talking composting, mulching, cover crops, and so much more.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you see part 2. Until next time, let's think about how we can make a difference in our own backyard, in our garden. Until then, let's get growing up here.